Welcome everybody to the DPW Building Committee meeting for today, which is June 16th, 2021, 6:32 p.m. I'd like to start this meeting. Could we do a pledge of allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First item on the agenda is the approval of minutes, and we have minutes for May 19th, 6:30 meeting.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, ma'am.
I apologize for the late submission, but they kind of got buried on my computer.
Well, we're going to dock your pay.
Okay.
Okay.
Duly noted.
As long as we get that out of the way.
Mr. Chairman, motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Any other comments or questions? Very lengthy, very good job. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Next item on the agenda, which there it is. Project update from
No, DPW subcommittee minutes.
Oh, see? That's why I got you here. How about the DPW subcommittee minutes? Can we, anybody want to address those issues on here?
Mr. Chairman, motion to accept the DPW subcommittee meeting minutes of Tuesday, June 8th, 2021.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other comments or questions? Are all these items going to be able to be resolved pretty quickly, or?
The change orders.
The change
Resolved.
orders?
They're on
We've
hold.
had our problems, but we're straightening them out. They're coming along.
Joe can maybe address them.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. When we get to Joe, we can address those, all right? Any other comments or questions? All in favor of approving the minutes?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Project update from CHA.
Thank you, Steve. Three things I'd like to talk to you about. One is we're currently still working through some commissioning issues. We've hired a commissioner through Weston and Sampson, and there's some details and training and changes within the energy management system that they're going through, and the sequencing and startup of the RTUs and the rooftop units. So that's going on pretty much on a weekly basis, and as the HVAC mechanical trade is making those corrections, the commissioning agent is signing off on them, and then reports are being issued on that. The punch list, and the other part of it, we're meeting still every Tuesday at 10 o'clock, going through GNR's contract work, any potential remaining changes in the punch list. On a weekly basis, I've been forwarding the completed punch list, updated with the dates scheduled for the last items to be completed on a Friday, and I've been seeing yourself, Bob, Ed Medeiros, just for clarity to show you that progress is being made. GNR reported from their project executive, said that they were about 95% done. I'm around 91% based on my observations with our team. The last few items, there's a few larger items that they're currently getting further documentation. Like we had a little bit of puddling happen in the salt shed, so they sent out their engineer, shot some grades. It looks like there's a little bit of a dip to the right side of that door entrance. They're going to make infrared heat corrections to pitch that the way it should to the storm drain, allowing the salt shed interior to stay neutral. It basically is supposed to stay somewhat level and keep the salt and any other debris within that salt shed. So that's being corrected. It's great that the DPW is actually occupying the building now, because as events occur and we have staff there doing the punch list, we can address them as they come up. There's been little stuff that as Chris had set up, like there was a conference table that needed to be wired. We were able to manage that through little sequential stuff, but I think overall the punch list we're working through that. But a subcommittee on the overall outstanding change orders, there's been some back and forth of numbers that they've been given and clarification on dollar values for particular materials. And I think, between Ed, Bob, Chris, and Jeff, we've been diligent on making sure that we get the best value for that. The incidental small electrical changes are annoying, this time as we move forward towards the end of the project, but it's inevitable. We'll have a few of them. We're just trying to minimize the exposure to the town. Okay?
Computer systems are all working fine up there, and
Yeah.
alarm systems
Yeah,
all...
they were like the first week, and that's the key on occupying. They have a shoulder season where we went from heat to cold, and we actually had that heat, I used to call it heat wave for 4 or 5 days, and that's actually essential that does happen, because the system went into cooling, and a part needed to be replaced. But I'm glad we found it out the first week when that was happening, and not 6 or 8 months or a year later. You know what I mean? So we actually are tentatively will have a walkthrough of the building 11 months from the time it's been substantially complete, and then that's a builder's warranty list that we'll make at that point. If there's any deficiencies, cracks, or anything that we might see, we list that, and then the contractor would be responsible. We'll document it, and forward it along.
So when is that 11th month?
It's 11. It's
March.
I want to say March. Yeah. Right.
March next year?
Yeah, and the other thing that we implemented is a warranty report. Basically, it's a one-page report that Chris or any of his staff would make a list of, and then there's a spreadsheet that actually records the items, and it shows, when it was reported, who it was reported to, the action that was taken, the acceptance of that action, and then signed off by the DPW. Chris has that, and he's tracking that as he moves forward. Okay?
Any questions for CHA? Okay. Would you do me a favor, would you resend me that updated
Punch list?
Punch list?
Yeah, sure.
I don't...
Last Friday I sent it. So.
Okay, all right.
I try to do it every
Maybe
Friday.
you're in...
So what we're doing, and just at the last Tuesday's meeting, the remaining, 9% of the punch list, I've asked Dan, GNR's project manager, to put dates next to tentative dates. I mean, they may change depending on, but at least it gives us an idea and a consistency that, he's got staff coming to address those. And it's helpful for our committee to actually see when they're scheduled to be done and when they are getting done, so.
So is all the equipment that we need purchased? No?
It's on order.
It's on order.
It's on order, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, we got locked-in rates and all that for
Yep.
the equipment that we need?
The only thing, I'm not sure Chris ordered the power washer or the actual... the
Unit
power
itself,
washer
right.
Unit. He's got a power washer in there, but not the unit that was designed for there. It's $100,000 for that unit. We want to make sure that everything
right
else
one.
comes out before that unit actually gets ordered. So.
Yeah, he wants to make sure it's the right setup for the space, so.
Just, I hear a lot of, prices are increasing dramatically across the board for all you guys know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The good news is the state bid list has set numbers for specific items that Chris is buying from, so it's kind of locked in right now for it. If he waited 6 or 8 months, it may change a little bit. But, the market, and from what we're seeing over the last 3 to 6 months, they're estimating some of the lumber costs to start to come down October, November. I mean, the plants are up and running. Right now, it's just, we had no surplus, so everybody shot the numbers up.
Okay. All right. Okay, any other comments or questions? No? Okay. That's going to do for Weston and Sampson also? Then next item is change orders.
Mr. Chairman, we only approved one change order at the DPW Building Subcommittee, and that was change request number 53, and that was to provide additional fee to vehicle exhaust fans for $1,624. We did have 5 change order requests. We
Tabled.
We're working on 3 of them. 2 of them we denied or categorically denied, but it'll be interesting to see if they come back. So we're working on them. That was the only change order we made a motion to approve and passed unanimously.
You want to make that motion again, even though we voted for the subcommittee report? Can you make that motion again to approve?
Yes, to to make the change order request number 53.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve change order request 53. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Paying invoices. All right. For the first item is the Weston and Sampson invoice that was held from the previous meeting. And this is an invoice dated May 17th, 2021, and invoice number is 5210294 for a total fee of $38,610 for Weston and Sampson.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Mr.
This was a total contract amount of $1.1 million. I agree we're on the home stretch, but I don't think we're that far home. I think we should be holding approximately 20 grand. I guess my opinion would be if we could hold, it would be like $17,000. They'd get a $30,000 check instead of a $38,000 check. If you figure the $8,580 is all we would be holding, it's not 2%, it's 0.02%. So they're really skinning it down. So I guess I would make a motion to pay an invoice for $30,000 even. And keep
As
the
opposed to
rest,
38?
not the 38, 30,000
Just
even.
30 even? Okay. So we have a motion to adjust this invoice for $30,000 even.
Well, what do you think that Weston and Sampson has left to go?
Excuse me?
Ed,
Right here.
Oh.
what do you think Weston and Sampson has left to go that we have to hold
They
the
really
money?
don't have much, but I don't want to, I mean, it'd be more of a question of Joe. We still have some questions, breaker questions. I mean, we have 5 change orders that they have to pipe in on. I mean, I think they're going to finish it, but, you
Yeah,
know,
they're
it's
not
always
going,
been...
I mean, to Ed's point, they're not going anywhere, they're a larger firm.
Right.
Usually, part of the closeout, I mean, the same with CHA, I mean, we're not going anywhere because we're gonna have continued work moving through this process, you know. Ed's philosophy in the day, you know, if you paid him everything, you know, you don't see him again. And that's not necessarily the case with the designer or an OPM because, you know, you're our client today and you're our reference moving forward. It's not like, you know, we're gonna...
Well, I understand that. I don't have a problem paying them the rest of the money, but that's why I wanted to ask Ed why he wants to hold it.
So I guess my opinion would be that it's a difference when you wake up in the morning and you say, I have to go to Middleborough and I'm not getting paid today because I already got paid for it 2 weeks ago. So if you come to Middleborough and you got $17,000 left and you're getting paid for it, you feel a little better about it. That's all I'm saying.
So you feel there's something in their design that they have to correct to get the job done?
There's certainly change orders that
Yeah,
they
we got
have
work- We got
to,
work left to complete.
they've definitely got work left to do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm picking an arbitrary, somewhat arbitrary figure, but, I mean, I could, you know, in good conscience, on a $1.1 million job, if you're holding $40,000 or $50,000, it isn't a lot of money. You know, whether, if they might be done in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, they're gonna get paid in 4 weeks. I mean, does it really make a difference? Probably not, but I don't like to be behind the 8 ball.
Okay.
There's no question.
So we have a motion to pay this invoice for $30,000. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. $30,000. CHA. Woo-hoo. Here we go.
So you're gonna cut them too?
Cut them in half. We have actually 2 invoices. So we have invoice for March 29. The invoice number is 39111-04, and this is for $6,000, and this covers professional services through to April 2, 2021. $6,000.
We add the 2 of them together, just so,
Do you want to do both?
yeah. That way we'll just
You
do
want to do
one.
both?
Yep.
This time? Okay. We also have,
I did calculations one way.
Okay.
Both of them, so.
All right. You know what? You're calculating, that's good. All right, we'd also like to add into this invoice dated May 4th, which is invoice number 39111-05 for professional services through April 30th for $10,000. So the total amount would be $16,000.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
they have a line item in here, they've been paid 100% for pre-construction, bidding, and construction, which we are done with. They have a closeout figure. Weston and Sampson didn't have a closeout figure, it was just construction administration, so they kind of added a couple of things together. But they actually have a closeout figure of $40,000. They're asking to get paid 40% of that, which is $16,000, and it leaves them with $24,000 left to be paid of a $410,000 contract. So we're still holding like 7% of theirs. So, you know, it's quite a substantial number compared to the contract. They have a little more than Weston Sampson to do, but not a lot more than Weston Sampson to do. So I would make a motion to approve both invoices for the amount of $16,000.
Second.
We have a very detailed description and a motion and a second. Any other comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. We have an invoice here from SMMA,
That's commissioning agent.
the commissioning agent. And this invoice number is 0054919. The date is May 13th. And it is for 15,000,
No.
no?
$5,888.
Wrong line. $5,888.98. Okay, good.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
That brings them up, their total fee for this project was, or estimate was $23,200. They were about 65% complete, so that would bring their total up to $15,690.96. So I make a motion to approve the total invoice of $5,888.98.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other comments or questions? Okay, I have a comment. We've got 4 invoices here that are supposedly
No,
outstanding.
they were paid.
Can we resolve those?
They were paid.
Yeah, they've been paid.
They were paid.
Can we make sure that SMMA knows that they've been paid?
Yeah, that's probably just a cotton mail type thing.
Okay, check
I
them
double checked them. They got the check.
because I'd like to not see those on next
Yeah,
report.
we should.
Steve doesn't want his credit rating going down.
Mike, back to my credit rating here, you know? Come on. Just don't want to buy a package of cigarettes or something. Okay, any other comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Okey-dokey. Last invoice we have is from LCN Networks. Date of the invoice is 5 May 2021. It's, I suppose there's an invoice number on here someplace. Maybe, maybe not.
I couldn't find an invoice number.
Yeah, I know.
I think it was a contract for 12 months bill, and they're still on the percentage portion of it.
Well, in that case, I guess we're going to, the invoice is for $2,366.88.
Mr. Chairman, motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Okay. Existing DPW facility. You want to talk about that, Paul?
Yeah, I assume you all saw the email that Leanne sent today. She submitted a grant to the Commonwealth for assistance in demolition costs, and we'll see how that goes.
She also sent a little blurb about a splash pad, and she referenced Little Rock, Arkansas, for some splash pads they had down there. Very, very elaborate things. So I look at them, I said, gee, that'd be nice down there. But they also, I went to the particular website for the park department in that town, or that city, and they had this hazardous probability table. I love tables. This thing is, when you really taking a look at your risk severity and grading them. So you can, and this is just, I think from our point of view, it's just a kind of a gut feeling. There are certain things that are just intolerable. You can't have it. People dying, and things going to blow up or something. Then there's, are people going to die? Maybe not. Maybe that's a rare thing. But if you want to take a look at this, maybe fill it in. Just have a little fun with it. Just it's something I think we'll have to do if we decide to do something like this. We'll have to look at that. I don't know who builds splash pads up here, or who even designs them, if they have anybody that designs them up here, but, maybe it's
Water
a,
access ramp, is that what they did?
well, this thing had, it was different types of water fountains in a pad, shallow, rocks around it, and cubby holes where people could hide, and then they had a device on a bollard where you press that and it would go through
Like
a sequence.
A refreshing park.
Yeah, and then it would stop. So if nobody was there, you're not spraying water in the air for nothing.
Yeah.
So if somebody goes up there,
Yeah, Falmouth was installing when I saw it today, they were doing bottles, very different.
yeah. So,
Mr. Chair,
yes, hello.
Plymouth has one, and Freetown State Forest has one.
Okay.
Those are the two closest ones to us. They are very well attended, especially parents with toddlers that can't go to the town pool. This would be a total boon, and I've talked to a lot of mothers with young ones, and they were very excited about the idea of having a place that they could bring their little ones. And they can be as simple or as elaborate as you want. There's not one standard for them.
Right.
I can't see the probability of risk being any more than the town pool. That's probably a higher risk of drowning.
Probably is, yeah.
Or the Pierce Playground. I think the risk would probably be pretty comparable to what we already have. I think the town pool would probably be higher
Right.
than a splash pad, because the water isn't deep at
No,
all.
it's not deep.
But I do know that parents with youngsters were very thrilled and happy, because right now the closest one is Plymouth or the Freetown State Forest.
Right. I would like to see something nice, not just a square tarred area that has a couple fountains. I think
Mr. Chairman? Mr. Chairman?
yes.
I would say that we should invite the park department in, whether it be the board or the department, and because they would ultimately take care of it. So there's no use of us building something that someone is not going to take
I'm
care
not
of.
suggesting building or even thinking about how to build it.
Right.
I'm just thinking it's an idea.
Right.
And the other thing is, there's question, we're the building committee, so we were given the task of getting a building. And we did that. And getting rid of the existing building. Well, we're in the process of that. There's certain things that will have to happen. But what we're going to do with that piece of property afterwards, I don't think that's in our charge. So, and that would be bringing in other people onto this committee. We're out of the construction phase, so now you're into, recreation, planning, different departments would have to be involved in this.
Yep.
So,
Mr. Chair?
yes.
Our charge does call for us to be in charge of the reuse of the site. I'm not sure how far of a reach reuse is, but it did task us with the reuse of the site. So I'm not quite sure.
Well,
how far
other
reuse
committees
goes.
for another building in town were given that task, and they said, you can do this and this and this. Yeah. So,
I don't know how far
we can
wanna-
do this and this and this, and they see it too. But I don't think we'll get out that easy for some reason. This doesn't seem to work. Okay, I guess, do we want to continue being monthly, Bob?
Mr.
Yes,
Chairman, I think we have them.
invoices, we have invoices.
We did?
And progress.
Okay, all right. So then, we will have another meeting, which will be third Wednesday of July. 21st. Which just sounds like, yep, the 21st. So, July 21st, 6:30. Everybody all set with that?
Yep.
And you might as well plan out for the next 3 months, I mean, the next 6 months or so, well, till March? Do we have to do this till March next year?
I mean, once bills are paid, I think then we could go to 2 or 3 months,
Or as needed, right?
you know.
All right, so let's plan for at least 4 more months, 5 more months. 5 more months.
Well, it's the third Wednesday of the month.
The
So we don't
21st.
need to do the dates. Plus August,
Good,
September,
yeah.
it's the third Wednesday of the month.
Yes, sir. Okay, any other comments or questions?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
That's a comment.
All in favor? Aye. Aye. Thank you all very much. Nice to be back
It's a way to
live.
go.
Don't leave.
Nice job on the,